be a Blackberry poet for a moment. And I have to put my glasses on for this because the type is too small.
Buzz and Jovi, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You are the poet laureate.
No.
I could try and introduce this. It's in response to something, but I think, you know, I think it'll...
He's looking to.
Sucks.
We are citizen poets.
There is a signifying patch, worn by every girl, given by her peers, when they have deemed her worthy of the title hoe. This is an honor readily given by those of us who are more than willing to be both judge and jury. Understand there are rules. 1. The fabric must be placed directly over her breastbone, crimson letters sewn in thread woven from her mistakes. A cross stitch is preferred. We provide a master seamstress for the job, someone who has amassed the experience necessary to take the esteem of a young woman so delicate and vulnerable in their hands and destroy it with each pinprick needed for a perfect fit. We are good at what we do. Society has taught us well. There is an art to how one must be broken and how the weak must be picked apart from the strong. 2, you have to make sure there's no room to grow. No space between patch and skin. A hoe is a hoe and will always be so. This must be made known. We do not want to risk the possibility of her picking away at the seams, discovering there might be something greater inside her. We do not take kindly to the idea of loose young women joining the ranks of decent citizens as if they had a right to be recognized as human. We make sure this rarely happens by reinforcing the edging of our inseams with our insults, because every time you put a hoe in her place, you are contributing to a better world. Every time you give a hoe her name, you're making the world safer for the good little girls. 3, repetition. If you say something enough, it becomes the truth to someone who can't help but believe it. If you say something enough, it becomes the truth to someone who can't help but believe it. Every applique is handcrafted with the bitterness of 3 generations. Our hands have basted a clamor of voices in protest. We have a responsibility to make sure a point is made that she knows she has no one to turn to. We are not allies. Other young women will turn against her or run. She is not worth it. She is alone. This makes the branding much easier for. Do not concern herself with the story. Each insignia is custom crafted so that one size fits all. It is not our way to find out what she does this, why she does this. It is not our business to know what makes her heels click as she walks down school halls wishing for a way home. That maybe she was molested when she was 7, raped when she was 13, fatherless, had no role models, grew up in a crack house, grew up on drugs, grew up with a mama who pimped her out or hit when she couldn't find the cash, motherless, friendless, raped again at 16, alcoholic, disturbed, depressed, lost, looking for love, needing to be loved, stolen from, used, abused, taken for granted, or maybe she just likes to be touched. Did you ever wonder why? Did you ever consider that maybe it's not any of your business unless she gives you permission? 5, again repetition. 6, again repetition. 7, again repetition. 8. Familiarize yourself with the sound of needles breaking. This is no flimsy fabric we manipulate. This is human flesh. It will not yield easily, but if you work at it hard enough, it will bend to your will. Press carefully. Notice the way it falls limp in your hands. This is a replication of a young girl's backbone when it cracks. This is her hope for a refuge crumbling under. These are the places where our fingers left our marks. Each hemline shows the places where our hatred left its mark. Each thimble spills the blood of punctured whimsy left to dust. We do not have an easy job, but it is necessary. This is tradition. Again, repetition. 9, repetition. 10. Remember to take inventory. When the day's work is over and the piecing is done, Count your progress by how many tears you've siphoned from your sewing machine, how many prescriptions, antidepressants, how many young girls you've left friendless, hopeless, crying themselves to sleep on a bathroom floor, bleeding out their wrists on a bathroom floor, hanging from a closet, hanging from a thread, wearing nothing but the patch you made, nothing but the skin you condemned, so readily, so unwilling to know that she was a person, because it's so much easier to curse what we don't understand than to acknowledge it might be anything like us on the inside. It's so much easier to go along with the crowd, so much easier to just do nothing, because what difference does it really make? Every time you put a hoe in her place, you are contributing to a better world. Every time you give a hoe her name, you're killing a good little girl.